What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to 3 Star Draw. I am Down South 77, and this is an adult collector channel where we usually talk about G.I. Joe and G.I. Joe stuff, primarily G.I. Joe Classified. That is the love, but there are also many likes, and we're going to be talking about one of those today. We're going to be talking about the final figure that was in my order from the Store Horsemen sale. The 4 Horsemen ran at the end of February on their website. It's the best time to pick up any kind of Mythic Legions figures that they have that you might need, you might want extras of. You're never going to get them cheaper than you're going to get them ordering straight from them. If you're into Mythic Legions, and I'm just now getting into them, you well know this. If you're kind of checking out Mythic Legions and you're interested in picking up a few, I tell you what, you thought Joes were addictive. These things, it's even characters you're not interested in are amazing. So I do recommend picking up one or two, but be careful. It's easy to get lost in these things. So the final figure that I got in my order is the one we're going to look at in this video. I'm getting the skeleton guys. There's 4 more of them already than I will probably be able to acquire. So the ones that I have the ability to pick up when I see them, when they're cheapest, obviously, is when I'm going to try and get them. Because basically you're going to be able to get 2 figures for what one will cost you on the secondary market. So one of the skeleton guys that I wanted to get was this guy. This is the last one that I ordered. This is the Deluxe skeleton builder figure to build out your skeleton army. Now, he's the only, I only ordered one because there were other figures that were more like deluxe, figures. These guys, the Legion builders, the army builder type figures are the cheapest of the Mythic Legions, not quality wise, just as far as what they come with, and they're not named figures. They don't have a big backstory or anything. They're just to build out your army, and that's what I'm doing. So I hope to pick up maybe 1 or 2 more of these guys in the future. Hopefully, maybe they're going to have some of those at Joe Fest. I'm planning on attending that with my cousin Pop Blender. We're planning on going there, and 4 Horsemen is going to be there. So hopefully maybe I can pick up 1 or 2 more of these. But enough talk. Talk's cheap. We got to look at him. So let's go on and get that done right now. All right, our Deluxe Skeleton Legion builder does not have a bio. They do not give the Legion builder guys like this bios, just because they're kind of, army builder background characters. So they don't have a whole lot of backstory. These guys are a congregation of Necronominus, which is what I've got my sights on trying to collect. That's the faction, not just the skeleton guys, but that's the faction. I cannot wait for that Necronominus figure, but even more than him, I cannot wait for Maxilius the Harvester. That figure, that Maxilius figure, I think for me, if it's as good as it looks, that has the potential to be my favorite figure in my entire collection, just from anticipation for it. So go ahead and check him out there in his prison. There's his baggy snoochy boochies. So I'm gonna go ahead and get this dude out and we'll take a look at him. Well, he comes with quite a bit of stuff in that little baggie there. I didn't realize all of this stuff did come in there. He is indeed a deluxe figure. Now, I want to talk about this first. This is the same spear / pike that did come with Demistros. I'd like to point out that here on this guy, the one with the Demistros, you actually can see some of the evil blue-green highlights there with him. This guy does not have that with his, which I wasn't expecting. This is the lowest price point figure that is on Store Horsemen when they do the sale, so I'm guessing this is their their lowest price point figure, period. This comes with quite a bit of stuff with this figure for that price point. He was, I think, $26 on that sale, so that is their price. And he's going to be roughly double that on the secondary market. He comes with, as much stuff as one of the Joes with a lot of stuff, and you're getting the awesome detail work and the paint with it too. So these guys are very well priced if you can pick them up on the sale. I would also like to point out that I've been calling this a spear mistakenly and trying to correct myself and calling it a pike. It was pointed out to me by buddy Gasland Mechanic that the spear pike is called a bardache. I don't know that I've ever heard that, and I've kind of read things on this type of weaponry, but there is stuff from all cultures all over the globe, and I don't retain it all, and he knows more about this than I do, so I'm going off of what he tells me. And the bardache was first used in the late 14th century and became more common during the 15th and was most popular during the 16th and 17th centuries. So I just wanted to throw that out there as a little nod and thank you to Gasland Mechanic for enlightening me on what this thing really is. It's not really a spear. It's not really a pike. So I guess this is a bardache. Either way, it's cool. So let's take a look at his pauldrons real quick. Definitely different than any others that I have yet. They do have these really Mad Max seeming inspired spikes on them. They're kind of pointy. They're not gonna cut you, but they're kind of stabby, and I like it. I like it a lot. And as I see now that I have learned to look on these, they are labeled, right? And is this one labeled left? I don't see the L on this one, but I can figure it out now. So he does come with those. Does come with this cool sword that is kind of an orc style sword. I'm sure it probably has some sort of a name too. I'm going to call it an orc sword with a pointy edge on the other side of it. Not much paint apps on this. It's all one color. Still, the sculpting is awesome and spot on. So there's not a lot to it. There's no bendy weapons here. You're not going to get that with Mythic Legions. But this also matches all of his decor and his paint apps and stuff. So I would imagine for a guy like this, like it's going to be like they equipped the orcs with in Lord of the Rings, like they were just forged steel, pump them out, grab one on your way out to the battlefield kind of thing. He does come with our familiar strap here to hold accessories with, and I got a pretty good idea what goes on this one with him. Does have the quiver here. Again, hard to tell in my light. It looks like this is one paint app, the arrows, bodies, and the flight. Maybe a different color. Looks like the arrow shafts may be black and silver. That's what it looks like. And these may be a little bit darker color gray. It's kind of hard for me to tell. I think that's what it is. The flights are gray, dark gray, and this is more of a gray silver. Either way, same quiver, just minus as much fancy paint apps. Does come with the longbow that does have the actual string on it. You can hear the twang in the string. Maybe you can hear that. I don't know. Either way, the same bow they like to reuse, and it's very cool. Nice detail in the bow. Nothing really special about it. I'm not a bow and arrow kind of person myself, but the arrow that he comes with, apparently this dude at some point murdered Link and stole the silver arrow. So this guy can actually go and kill Ganondorf. And I did not break this arrow this time because it was just loose in that baggie. It wasn't in a tray. that really didn't have no visible means to get it out. And it's rather, I mean, it's kind of bendy as you can see, but it does not have, it's not Joe tolerances. I can't double it over. So it does come with the arrow for you to put in his hand like he's knocking a bow if you choose the bow and the arrow for his weaponry. So let's go ahead and get him out. Take a look at him. He's got this very gladiator is what this guy reminds me of. Looks like he's geared up to fight Russell Crowe. This is where I would insert, "Are you not entertained?" But I don't have that clip, so I'm just going to say it. It does have the skeleton boots here. These are the same boots that Tibius comes with. Looks to be the same feet as well that Tibius has. Different loincloth piece there in the front covering, I'm not sure what that's covering. The joint for the legs is what that's covering. But in real life, you know, who knows? It's magic. So he does have the samurai style thigh armor there. It does have a cool what am I trying to say? Detail, but I'm not trying to say detail. Embossment there on this. This is all raised. It's all textured. It's not just paint. It's very well sculpted, like usual. Does have the wrist gauntlets. It's just all in this iron leather looking color. He's got the collar piece here. The buckle is not attached, it's loose. It's like he just slapped this stuff on because Tibius said, "Hey, come on, it's time to fight for our right to party. Y'all grab your stuff, let's go." So go ahead and move him around. He was turned a little funny there coming out of the package. So let's see how he moves. Tibius was really nice coming out. I didn't have to heat anything up on Tibius. And this guy is going to be the same. They're the same. They look like they're the exact same body. So nice T-pose there. Just don't want to go too fast with these guys, that's for sure. So yeah, same as Tibius was. He comes out of the package really nice. Don't have to bend or heat anything. So I want to go ahead and, we didn't look at his helmet yet. So he does have the visor that comes down to protect his hollow eye sockets from any projectiles. I like the functionality of this, but I like it up much better. It looks good. It just makes his head look way too big to me for this slender skeletal body. This helmet on another warrior type body or a beefier body, an orc, something like that, I think this helmet works just fine. Nothing wrong with it. I just think it's too big for him myself. So it doesn't have an alternate head, and the helmet is fixed on there, so it's not coming off. You could always swap this off with another skeleton head, because with most of these figures you're getting an extra, so no problem there if you've got any other figures that have the extra head. Go ahead and throw the bow in his hand. His hands should be rather flexible, and they are. Go ahead and get the bow in there. Now, I'm not good with a bow and arrow, so last time I shot a bow, I could not use my other hand for half of the rest of that day. So you can get him into kind of a knocking pose there. You're going to have to turn the bow. You may be able to fool around with it, and people that are more used to posing these guys and getting them in better positions than I am, I think you could do it, but I think you're always probably going to have the bow turn like Robin Hood. So I'm going to go ahead and put the arrow in his hand just to get an idea of maybe. I could have just done that to begin with, couldn't I? So I guess you're going to have to do it that way. It doesn't, it's going to slide out, but you can pose him with the arrow really offset. The arrow looks really cool against the rest of his armor there. He doesn't have Tomax and Zaymot fingers, so you can't really get him into where like he's knocking it. That would have been cool maybe if he had an extra hand, or the characters with bows and arrows had extra hands where they can have those knock fingers to hold the arrow in. I don't know what you're supposed to do with it because it does not go into the backpack anywhere that I can tell, or the quiver doesn't go in there anywhere that I can see. There may be somebody a lot more familiar with these that'll say, "Oh, you dummy, it's right there." But I don't see anywhere for it to pour it in as I knock my light over. So I don't really use, we'll just leave that down there. I don't really use the bows and arrows very much on any of my figures. I had Storm Shadow posed with one with his for a while. But I like this right here more. This is probably what I'll put him with. He's holding this blade. He's getting ready to swing it. You can get a little bit of a two-handed pose with him. Probably work that around a little bit. Yeah. So I like him like that. Like he's getting ready to power swing that thing. And I do like that it kicks out here a little bit. I know that's not for posability with him, but it sure does help. Well, if you want to get him in a two-handed pose. So go ahead, and he does have the hinged jaw, although this piece here kind of stops it. Tibius's jaw was kind of tight, so you don't get a lot of movement with it, but it's there, like meh, 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 meh. So you can, I'm pretty sure you can remove this. Yeah, that just ports in, so if you wanted to, just show that real quick. I kind of like him without this collar, and you can get that. So you're going to have to take this off if you want to get that with this guy. I kind of like it with it off. Looks like he's ready to party now, doesn't he? So we'll pop that back off, and we'll slide this on here. And this is going to be for his quiver. Where'd it go? Oh, wait. The quiver's what fell, didn't it? No, there's the quiver. So the quiver's going to go on like that and then kind of hang there. I'll probably put all this back in the package, but just giving you an idea of what it looks like. The pauldrons, I'm probably going to have to heat. That's usually the way to go with these. They're marked. Okay, that one's marked. So we'll see if we got to heat this one. Most of these I've found you have to heat the back up. That one went in pretty good. So now I need to decide if I'm going to take this off or not, because once you get the pauldrons on, I don't want to try and take them back off. If you do that, I've never actually re-removed a pauldron that I've put on one of these guys. I would imagine the way to go with that is heat it all up and pop them back out. So he looks tough. He's beefy. Of course, that stops any shoulder movement that you've got. You should still be able to get him into a good sword swinging pose. And they've got a little give, so you can get them up further like that if you want. I think they look better like this, but I really think they are supposed to go up a little higher. So I'm going to go ahead and take this and look at his Bardache that I just learned. And I really do like this thing. This is an awesome looking weapon. I don't know if I'm going to use this with him on the shelf. I will probably use the sword because I have a figure that's holding this, or at least that has it. I've got everything. I have everything on my Demostros figure, including this. I've got this in his loop on his belt. So just an idea of what he looks like with it there. but I think the way I'm gonna go is I'm gonna leave off the neck guard, and then the bow and the arrow, the quiver, the the strap, and I'm gonna go with this just brute, you know, savagery here from this guy. Get that into a swinging pose, and this is probably how I'm gonna have him on my shelf. Is just like that. So there is the skeleton builder, guys. What do you think of him? Did you pick him up? Do you have a bunch of them? You gonna get more of them? I like this guy enough. Like I said, if I see him and I can pick him up for a good price, I will probably pick up at least one more and have one of these guys probably flanking Tibius as kind of his you know, guard, I guess, whatever. So I appreciate it, guys. If you like this content, if you hit that thumbs up, hit that subscribe button, hit that share button. I'll be doing some more Legion content as I get them. They're kind of a cherry picking thing for me. Like I said, I'm trying to collect the skeletons, and I'm definitely going to be in on the Necronominus. So if you like it, I certainly appreciate it. Let me know down in the comments. I try to get to all of them. And I will see you guys next time on 3 Star Draw. Thank you.